Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I'm back. Sorry, I had a bit of a cold. And I hath returned to bequeath unto you my magic narratives and my things, my penis. Later, if you're good. Otherwise, no. That is a hard no. But maybe, see what happens. Thank you for coming. I hope you are having a good. It is a Tuesday night, and we're gonna be doing some Sulk streaming tonight. Tonight we're gonna be talking about how the poor are utterly disgusting, and I loathe them with every cell in my body. So I hope you guys understand it. Don't take offense. Please don't take offense to my very hard stance on the poors. I'm not a fan. I think they should be relegated to at least the lower levels. And I think everyone agrees with me here. Except for the poors. But who cares about their opinion? Ew. Ew. So thank you once again for coming. Get comfy and get cozy and get a nice brown bag of liquor, and because you're going to be drinking on the street, and you don't want to get your fingerless gloves too cold. So, and remember that the pigeons are your only friends. So yes, I know the pores are disgusting. I have people in the chat already telling me that they're poor, and I'm telling you that I find that gross. Why? Why do you choose to be poor? I don't get it. It seems icky. It seems low class and icky, but to each their own. If you want to be good for nothing but your organs, then so be it. I can use a kidney. I can use a liver. I can definitely use a liver. But yeah. So grab your brown bag of liquor and your holy shoes, your shoes with lots of holes in them, and your barrel that you use as pants, with the straps and stuff like that, because you live in the poorhouse. Yeah. If you're working, keep working. And you will keep working until you're dead. Until you're dead. No break, no retirement, nothing. Until you die. Yeah. Until you're dead. And if you're driving your shitbox vehicle, please drive safely. Make sure the floorboards don't fall out underneath you, and, get to where you're going, and wear your seatbelt, because it's not like you're hard to replace, but it might take a minute. Anyways, I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream, and this is called The Middle Class Crushed as Billionaires Take Everything. Enjoy. Sorry.
If you weren't born into money, the odds of becoming wealthy are slim.
Let's start that over. Yeah. You're not rich, you're poor, and ew. Like I said, ew.
You never will be.
Ew.
If you weren't born into money, the odds of becoming wealthy are slim. And it's not because you didn't work hard enough. The truth is, the ladder we were all told to climb has been pulled up. In its place is a system designed to keep the rich on top and everyone else locked out.
Boomers! See, they had the ladder, and then they're all like, this ladder is far too easy to climb. We're going to make it difficult for our children behind us, and then we're going to get rich off of that, because that's what we deserve as boomers. Good job, boomers. Way to go, boomers. Everyone's all like, why don't I have grandchildren? Well, because you buttered up the ladder. You put like margarine on every one, because it's like cheaper than the Kerrygold, right? So we'd slip down and break our legs, and then you'd laugh at us and spit on us from your ivory tower, which looks fun, admittedly. I'm not going to lie.
On today's episode of the Infographic Show, we'll reveal why you
I would love to spit on pores too.
will never be rich and how the game was rigged from the start. Money has increasingly been going to the top of the socioeconomic ladder for decades now, though lately the problem has gotten real.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Onias, for not donating for me to do that.
That of $42 trillion of new wealth created since 2020, the richest 1% got 2/3 of it. Meanwhile, the other 99% of the population got the leftovers. And if you have been grinding away at a full-time job just
Onias says, can you believe Merce lives with one? A cat? He lives with like 4 cats.
to cover the rent and bills in a major city, you already know building wealth or even saving for a rainy day or unexpected doctor's visit feels next to impossible. For one, wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. According to the Pew Research Center, average hourly earnings peaked in 1973.
Remember, you guys are poor. And I remember you're poor. Because, I mean, like, I remember... you don't have to remind me. I have this bell. It's so cold. But what am I going to do? You're poor. You're just...
At $4.03 an hour, a rate equivalent to
Shimo says, I bet Frozen eats cats. No, that's just a rumor. He eats dogs.
$2.68 in 2018. Adjusting for inflation, that means that the people today...
Okay, easy in the chat. Okay. Easy in the chat. I know we're going on the whole cat conspiracy thing, but like, easy, guys.
have about the same purchasing power as...
Background noise says, in other news, Sulk was found today tied to a cat tree and OD'd on catnip and an apparent... I can't say that word. God, dude, it's really annoying. It really stifles my creativity. YouTube.
as they did in the 70s. Why aren't wages keeping up? Well, the decline of unions, for one. Then there's an
unions? I don't know. Because there's some pretty powerful unions in the country. And like let's say the teachers union. The teachers union has caused nothing but havoc and destruction wherever it goes. And it absolutely siphons the entire reason we have property taxes. Well, most of the reason is to prop up teachers unions and teachers who do nothing all day, who do literally nothing all day. Have you seen our test scores go up? No, but we keep pumping more and more money into the system. And they're like, you just need to pay us more. You just need to pay us more. And then we're like, okay, we'll give you more money. And then what happens? More non-teaching staff, more administration, and test scores just continue to decline and decline. Don't bullshit us. Come on, don't bullshit us. You guys are doing nothing but jerking each other off in those fucking offices. You ride to work in a Bentley, and what do? Hit on students? I know you do.
increasing amount of labor in competition for fewer and fewer companies. Independent and small businesses are
Shimo says kids can't read. No, they can't. No. Which is surprising because, like, Twitter? Is Twitter for old people who can read? Or do they hang out on, like, Instagram? Or, like, where are these kids not reading? Are they just having ChatGPT narrate everything to them?
increasingly run out of town, and large companies grow and merge to form
Oh,
even
look at
bigger
that.
conglomerates.
Oh, look at that. Somebody bought a membership. Big B Trucker. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you. The bell.
Prominent economists from several universities calculated that since the 1930s, the share of the U.S. economy dominated the top 1% of companies. That has increased to 90%, up from 70%. Meanwhile, the asset share of the top...
And you're poor. You guys are all poor. Ew. Who lives in their car? Do any of you live in your car? There's no shame in it.
0.1% of
Such an
companies
asshole.
has risen to 88%.
I'm sorry. All of Gen Z seems to live in their car. And, like, that's not a good thing. Trust me, I am not saying that's a good thing. They're all living in their car. I don't even have to ask why. I know exactly why. Because they can't get a job to pay them enough to pay rent, to pay insane rents. especially here in Florida, where like the average wage is like what, 50 or 60K a year. You're gonna have to have like 11 roommates. It is insane what people are charging for rent around here. Around here especially, but like there's really no renters around here. But like in Florida in general, it is insane. People keep saying, "Oh, the bubble's gonna pop, the housing market's gonna pop, and then all the houses are gonna get cheaper." So nobody buy a house. Nobody buy a house because the house prices are coming down. They're coming down. It's going to pop, everybody. They've been saying that for like half a decade. Well, not half a decade. I don't know. Years now. Well, yeah, basically half a decade. It's going to pop. They're coming down. It's going to pop. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. No, it's fucking not. You know why? Because the instant they're come down, even a little bit, BlackRock is going to come in. Chinese people are going to come in and just start swooping up properties left and right. And it's going to keep the property prices high. And then it's just going to turn everybody in the country into renters, which is exactly what they want to do. You will own nothing and you will be happy. My absolute ball sack, the only path to any sort of real freedom is owning shit. So a lot of people are they're sitting on the sidelines waiting for those house prices to come down. I see it all over YouTube. Well, they're all like, "Oh, it's gonna pop. Oh, it's coming down. Here it comes. Look at the data. Look at the data. It's coming down. It's not coming down. All right, it's not coming down. I'm sorry. Maybe a few percent, but you know, as things go up, there's a little dips. You know, it came down 3%. Oh, but it's still up 200% from a few years ago. Okay, yeah, it ain't coming down. It ain't. But you know, hedge funds and places like BlackRock and all these places, they pay these YouTubers to put out information like that. Like this. Like, "Oh, don't buy a house now. Don't buy a house now. You might as well just rent. Just keep renting." Yeah, because they're going to come down. They're eventually going to come down. So just sit on the sidelines for a while. You don't need a house now. It's just way too expensive. You don't need a car either. You can just Uber everywhere. Fuck that. Fuck that noise. No, sir.
Up from 47%. These companies are now running the market with an iron fist, as the competition of just a handful of corporations, an oligopoly, isn't really much of a competition at all. That is bad news for startups and independent.
First World Refugee says, "Houses will get cheaper when we burn BlackRock to the ground and try vibes for treason." And try vibes for treason? Vibes? Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not like one building. I don't think you're going to be able to like burn it down, but I get the sentiment.
Owned businesses, which is also bad news if you're trying to be rich. After all, being an entrepreneur and building your own company from the ground up.
Hog says, "I cry about how much I paid rent in like 07 to 12, like $700 to $750 in a month." Yeah, dude, I remember paying rent in like Sacramento way back in the day, and it was like $800 a month, and I thought that was wild. And it was wild at the time, but now that's a really good deal.
Used to be a decent method to earn your way into the upper class, if you were successful. According to Brian Head, the median net worth of self-employed families at $380,000.
Take me back to that shit. I'd sell my house in an instant. Dude, $4.5K a month in bills? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, like, you have home insurance, you have your mortgage, you have fucking property tax, which is like, look, property tax is absolutely unconstitutional. And what am I going to do? What are we going to do? People on Twitter keep crying about all the bullshit that's going on in society, and nobody ever does anything. Look, there's a lot of stuff that's bad. No one's going to do anything about it except for just bend themselves over the barrel and get rammed in the ass by more property taxes, more social degradation, more societal collapse, all of that nonsense, all of that bullshit. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do, dude? People keep fucking talking about it. And they're like, oh, well, noticing is the first step. Noticing is the first step. Well, we're all waiting, man. We've all noticed. We all have our eye on the prize. What now? And you get tired of waiting. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Just wait for more people to get stabbed? There's tons more people to get stabbed. Like, how many more? Like, what's the number? How many more people do... How much higher do house prices need to get? How poor do people... How expensive do eggs need to get? Like, across the board, when is the time? When is it? Is it 20 years? I don't know. That's a lot of dead people. That's a lot of dead white women. That's a lot. You know, you're looking at egg prices of like 40 or 50 bucks a dozen. You know, a house is going to cost $200 million. I don't know exactly if that's the case, but is that the time? I don't know. I mean, you still have a little bit of power now. Might as well let them take everything from you. That way, then you're going to be mad. Then you're going to be mad. Well, they'll just activate the, the thing that they put inside of you back in 2021. Oh, you're mad? Boop. And you're dead.
$1,000 in 2019 was over.
I don't know if that's actually going to happen.
For 4 times that of families of workers at $90,000. However, startup costs have increased with time because of inflation and the consumer price index. The average cost of a startup is now estimated to be $40,000 for the first year. And that turns into hundreds of thousands if you want to start a brick and mortar store or restaurant. That means that even the ability to be an entrepreneur is increasingly tied to how much money you have available to you since birth. No matter.
This is true. I mean, but like... Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's absolutely, there's nothing untrue about that. I mean, you're born into wealth, and like, if you don't have it, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very close to impossible. It is very, very close to impossible. And on the other hand, you can be a fucking idiot with you, and you have rich parents, you have millionaire parents. They're going to set up trusts. They're going to set up fiduciary responsibilities of people that their job is to make you rich. That's their job. They have a trust, and then that trust has like lawyers and board members and committees and stuff like that. And their specific job is to make you rich and to make sure you don't spend it to oblivion. And so, even if you're retarded, you're never going to be poor. It's just mathematically impossible because you're making so much money. And this usually leads people into like being drug addicts or losing their minds or something like that, or just kind of wandering around the city during the day because they literally have nothing else to do. I think I'm going to take my pants off at Grand Central Station just to see what happens. Just to feel something. Hunter Biden.
What Instagram accounts with cigar-holding men will tell you. Perhaps that's why American entrepreneurship has been declining. The Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation found that though startups made up more than 12% of U.S. companies in 1980, by 2012 they only made up 8%. In addition, startups went from providing 4%.
Hog Dog says, I hate this timeline so much. I know. Why can't we just live in the kiddie history? Why can't we live in kiddie history? With the kiddie history times. I missed out on surfing cats. Hold on. Maybe if we got lucky, yes. Okay. Okay, we did it. We did it, guys.
Hang out there like he was hanging 10.
Okay.
Jumps from the board in the water.
It ain't all bad.
If I am in the water, he
just come to me and then swim back to the board.
Is that Frozen? Is that Frozen talking?
Hokulam loves.
I bet that cat's pissed. That cat's like, I fucking hate these Filipino bastards. I don't want to be surfing. I want to be curled up on top of a TV. Well, modern TVs aren't like that. A computer. My cat usually sits right here on the computer. She loves it, right? Or she's in my lap. She's not surfing with me, right? If I took my cat surfing, she'd scratch me. She'd scratch me bad. She'd be like, I'm going to cut you, S.A. I'm going to cut you so good. I'd be like, whoa, Vato. Easy. I'm not taking my cat surfing. That's insane.
What Hawaii has to offer. He's just enjoying the surroundings and enjoying the motion of the ocean as we are too.
Why don't you
No.
maybe just check out those
Nah. No, that cat doesn't like that shit at all.
the kitties, and I saw him, very, very sweet look of him, very shy. He was hiding under the bed and under the sheet of the bed. And slowly he warmed up to us.
He would follow us everywhere. Even when we'd be in the shower, he'd get curious and want to jump in the shower with us.
Yeah, well, my cat does that too. We'll go on like walks, like family walks, and then she'll like skulk after us, right? Like, she's following us. She's following us down the block. And we're like, she's keeping her distance though. She doesn't want to be seen. So she's like behind a tree and she's like, we're like, we see you. You can just walk with us if you want. She's like Buster from Arrested Development. she kind of hides. Okay, kitty, do what you want.
He didn't seem to mind any water or splashes, and he just wanted to be close to us. We noticed that he would just go outside, even if it was pouring out rain, and come in soaking wet.
We were kind of amazed to see this behavior from a cat.
So that's when we decided, hey, we have a lot in common. Maybe he likes the beach too. So we had to find a beach that was virtually empty, nice calm water and not too windy, so he would be most comfortable. When we got him there, we let him play on the sand, and to him it was probably like a big cat box. Got him to the water's edge, and he warmed right up to it.
Uh-huh.
And then we saw that he could naturally swim well.
Yeah, cats can swim fine.
I
Yeah.
had my surfboard there, so I placed him on the board and I paddled out to the small waves and just caught a wave at first laying down. And he seemed to enjoy the ride. From there, we slowly got him more comfortable and eased him into it. So I wanted to build a little home for him that he could feel safe and kind of lock him in there so he wouldn't move around. I just found a boogie board and I cut into a diamond shape.
You just leashed him down too, so he really cannot go anywhere.
So it was just...
And look, he's like chewing on it, so it seems like he's got anxiety. But whatever. I mean, cats are good on the ocean. They're good for boats and stuff. So, because they can drink seawater. You know, a cat's kidneys are so efficient they can actually drink seawater. Yeah, that's why they're so good on boats.
Just perfect size where he could sit in there,
Catch the mice.
feel safe, kind of hide from the wind, or feel that he had a little home base. After he graduated from the boogie bed, he definitely got more comfortable on the boat.
Onia says, I'd love a plot of land on the coast a few miles from town I can take a boat to. I would too. I would like that.
Or he started walking up and down.
But like only a boat, so you can't get there by car? Because that would be annoying. That'd be like, I have to take the boat. There's not a bridge anywhere or a ferry.
And jumping in on the water on his own.
The cat's just trying to end himself. He's like, I hate this couple. They're trying to eat me and shit like that. I keep trying to drown myself.
He knows what he can do now. So he's getting kind of cocky sometimes, and he's very fast. It's almost faster than me when he swims. He gets into some sort of zen mode. I think the ocean itself relaxes him, falling asleep and everything.
Is that cat relaxed?
He's good for About an hour or so. We can tell if he's getting tired. Then we know it's time to go in, and then we give him a freshwater shower, rinse him off right away so he doesn't groom himself with salt water.
Again, he doesn't care.
Dry him off really good, and yeah, it's fun to have a cat that shares the same interests.
We think that the further away he is from noises and from strangers, that's his place. He feels calm. So since he doesn't mind...
Carbon says, self-deletion cat is best cat. Bahama John show is now complete. Is it now because you showed up, or is it because I have surfing cats?
Water, Chloe was the perfect place for him to be.
Summer all
Hubstock says, I see a pussy I like. Never said that before in his life.
year long.
Because he doesn't.
The water's...
He's gay. It's true. It's true. If you're not gay, give me $100 right now. Otherwise, you're gay.
warm, and you can still find your own little slice of paradise.
Thought
Now
so.
We have a third part of our family to share.
Proved
with.
it.
It just makes it that much more
Proved
special.
it. What a homo. Knobstock?
Comment, and
Can you hear me, or do you have dick in your ear?
subscribe.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to the serious stuff. Surfing cats. Anyways, good. We have at least surfing cats. That's important.
Percent of all jobs in the same time period to 2% more than 3
Knob says, I'm married with 4 kids. You ride an e-bike. I'm married with kids as well.
days later. According to the Brookings Institution, the ultra-wealthy don't earn their money from jobs like the rest of us. The top 0.01%.
What is with the bike, you guys? You guys don't like the bike. It doesn't matter. Does it help that it doesn't have brakes right now? Because I've been riding it without brakes. Does that make it less gay or gayer? Your call.
Make 82% of their income from investments and businesses. Nearly 60% from investments alone.
Cheddar says, I'm gay. I'm super gay, and I don't have $100. Well, yeah, that sucks. That's gay.
Meanwhile, the top 0.001% made 88% of their income from investments and businesses, with more than 70.44% coming from investments. You know.
Here, let's see if I can pull this off. Because this is actually a good one. Is it not? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I tried to do an ad. Didn't work. Oh, it's the wrong one. That's why. Ugh. That makes me mad, dude. That makes me mad. Rumble, I don't know the deal with your things, but like, I don't. Ah, man, it's so frustrating. That is so frustrating, dude. No, I want that. I want that money. Here. I'm going to make that shit work. Hold on. I'm going to make this shit work. Is that hold on. Okay, all right. Hold on. Okay. Remove test ad. Browse. Hey, football fanatics, are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune in to Westwood One for all the gridiron glory you crave. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays, don't miss a moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on WestwoodOneSports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. Oh, thank God, dude. Thank God, dude. Okay. All right. That actually paid decently well. It was $1.68. Why not gangbusters? And knobs, please don't do the math.
Like the investment that you don't have the money to make, and the businesses that you don't have the money to start. That's why the bottom 80% of households on average made only 7% of their money from the same sources. And part of the reason the old...
Okay, Onias, I'm not going to lie, that actually looks pretty sick. This is what Onias wants to get. Is it refrigerated? Cargo carrier, tricycle, 4-wheel bike, cargo e-bike, and it's in there, huh? You know what? You should make the walls plexiglass and make it like a go-go cage and have a stripper. Have a stripper in there, and then people, in town can just like put dollar bills in. There's like a dollar bill slot. And you just go around with a stripper. I don't know why I thought that. I mean, there's a million other things you could do. I can't think of any, but the stripper idea is sticking with me.
Ultra wealthy stay ultra wealthy. It's because high wages are taxed differently than capital gains, or the profit that you get off an
Christian says that's the take you're going with.
investment. The Brookings Institution points out that the highest effective marginal income tax rates on
It's
wages
an electric rickshaw,
exceed
yeah.
40%, whereas much business income is taxed at a top rate below 30%. Dividends and realized capital gains are taxed below 25%. That means that if you work your way up to a really high-paying job, you're probably giving away almost half of your income in taxes. But if you are...
Onias says, I just think it'd be nice to go to the grocery store, and it's only like 3 minutes for me. I go to the grocery store on my bike. I have the they're called pannier bags, and you just toss the groceries in those, and it's fine. It's fine. I can carry 2 big bags of groceries in there. And yeah, it's only like around the corner, so it's not even that big of a deal. I'll do it. It's not hard. I also have a trailer that I take my kids in. So I throw the kids in there, and then I can go to the beach. I can go visit the grandparents. It's pretty easy. And then there's bike trails all over town. I'm not going to keep talking about this. All right, you guys just call me gay.
Are super wealthy with
just
multiple
gonna call me
investments,
gay.
the government is seeing less than a quarter of that. This allows you to maintain your status as the top 0.001.
See, the problem with this is this is getting a little too close to a car. See, it's getting too close to a car. It might be nice in the rain, but you need to have the side things. And at that point, you just have an electric car. That's just an electric. This is a car. This isn't even a bike. This is just an electric car. It's sweet. It's sweet. I could just park it in my driveway. $3,000, huh? Oh, if I buy 20 of them, it's only $2,000 and $450. So if I get 20 of these bad boys, I get one for every one of the cult members, and then we just roll around like a gang, kidnapping people.
Percent while everyone else around you fruitlessly tries to fight their way up. Capital gains and similar returns from real estate assets, stocks, as well as investment portfolios are therefore a perfect wealth building tool, and one you probably can't access unless you're already rich, as money breeds money. The alternative is investing from day one to get anywhere near those returns.
No, not possible. I mean, like what? You're going to start investing when you're... Look, people are like, oh, invest when you're 18, 19... Bullshit, dude. Something's going to happen in like the 50 years and you're going to be broke. It's just...
But you have to start at a really young age, as you'll soon see. And that's going to be almost impossible. Experts analyzed data from Norway, and they found that the wealthiest 0.1% of households were already rich in their 20s. But more importantly, they invested heavily in equity and saved much of their income. You, on the other hand, are stuck paying for...
Brandon subs Sauron or go fuck yourself, man. I can buy a Sauron. I could buy a Sauron. That would be sick. Those things rip, dude. Are they expensive? I don't know how much they cost.
For rent, bills, food, and your car. Leaving, if you're lucky, a couple $100 for a couple nights out with friends and a new shirt or two. If it makes you feel any better, it's...
All right, what did you give me? Here's another link. No one's donating on the links tonight. You guys are like, e-bikes are gay. Here's an electric unicycle. Being ridden by the robot from Darkwing Duck. You guys remember that? What a badass. It's got a headlight. It's got a headlight on it. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Screw that noise. I want to get one of those drones you can fly around. Like you sit in and stuff like that. I'm probably too heavy for it though. Oh, what a badass. No. 9,000 watts? How fast does that thing go? That's a lot of power, actually. It could really get them up that hill. That's not a joke. What's 70 kilometers an hour? What is that in real? Isn't it Canadian? A Sauron runs from 1,500 to $6,000? Damn, just buy a real motorcycle at that point. I don't know, though. Those Saurons, they look sick, dude. I mean, they can really go fast. Knobs Dog says, I'd ride that. Yeah. I know. Okay, everyone doesn't know. It's 40, 50, 45, 43. I'm not going 50 miles an hour on an electric unicycle. That's so dangerous. That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. Catching some sweet airtime. How heavy is it? I bet it's pretty heavy. Right? Because just the battery would... It's got a headlight. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Oh, rolling with my crew. I'm sorry. These can't be cheap. So, like, are you also with a bunch of other rich nerds? Because I know these... Something with that much power is not going to be cheap. 9 kilowatts of power. And I don't... That's a lot, dude. I mean... Wow. Okay. Now let's go ahead and roll on over to the comments. I'll say this. That was the best electric unicycle commercial ever. And that rider is a beast. Now, if the will can deliver, it's a winner. Okay. I'm looking for the gay comments. No. Nope. Wow. These people are very into it. Not even one of them. I would expect one comment to be gay, gay, gay. Okay, Christian for $2. Now he's got a link for $2. Okay, and it's okay. Thank you for the $2.
Now's my chance to borrow this armored tuxedo. Scrooge won't mind. After all, it's the
Exactly.
only way I can get his dime back. Oh, I'll never figure out how this suit works. Blabbering blatherskite.
It's $5,000 for that thing. This thing is $5,000. $5,000. Dude, I can't wait till the military starts using these, and then you see soldiers with like their guns, and they're just. No, I mean, like you. Of course, I'd make fun of them. I mean, no, hold on. I gotta watch some more Darkwing Duck.
I didn't mean it. Ow! No, let
It's like Iron Man.
I'm being canned like a tuna.
Pretty
Hey,
sweet.
Who are you? The guy Mr. McDuck hired. Just call me Gizmo Duck. Yeah, 200 pounds of romping, stomping bombs. Action. Forward. Oh!
You got a big one.
Where'd you get that other hand? What?
So silly. That was silly.
It's not just you. According to The Atlantic, people making over $150,000 a year keep about 40% of their income after taxes and basic needs.
Making $150K a year. $150K is a lot of money.
Like housing, food, and transportation. But those earning much less often have around 15% of their already small paycheck
Poor. Ew, you're making less than $150,000 a year? That's poor. Ew.
to cover everything else, and that is on a good month. However, that doesn't take all expenses into account, like healthcare and education. After those
So look, here's one for $1,000, but it's not gonna be radical. I'm not gonna, and it's sold out. It's not gonna be radical enough, dude. It's not. It's just not radical enough. And it looks like a robot from Wall-E. That ain't radical enough. It could probably barely go anywhere. That's sad.
costs are covered, the poorest Americans have spent 98% of their income. That leaves only $367 in income that they could use for other things, or about $1 a day. Chances are,
So you're saving $1 after everything. Okay, you work 8 hours a day. Let's say, okay, and then you're saving $1 a day. So what if you blow a tire out? Then you're $200 in debt. So you spend all that, and then you're an extra $200 in debt. If a tire gets blown, but that's not even anything. What if you have like a hospital visit or something like that? Even with insurance, it's way more expensive than that.
that is not going to be turned into a mutual fund investment. And even if they somehow did put enough money together to speak with a financial advisor, the awful truth is, most advisors and firms wouldn't be interested in serving them. A report by the Financial Literacy Group highlights a harsh truth. Most financial advisors aren't interested in clients with serious money. Michael E. Kitches, director of research at Pinnacle Advisory Group, agrees, pointing out that non-affluent investors simply don't bring in enough to justify the time. To most advisors, the returns just aren't worth the effort. Or as the report states, the brutal truth is that financial advisors, in order to serve the non-affluent, would have to accept a substantial pay decrease.
Yep. Too bad. Too bad.
Not to mention, financial advisors make a hefty sum and therefore tend to move in wealthy circles where they can pick up prospective clients. If you're not making well into the six figures, it's much less likely that you'll come across someone like that, as they tend to be located outside of your network. Even if you get past all the initial financial and connection hurdles, coming from a background in which investing simply wasn't a thing is a barrier in and of itself. Amos Nabler, who has a PhD...
Are you guys just talking about your electric unicycles now? Is that like the new thing? You guys thought e-bikes were too gay, and then you're all like, let's get rid of one of those wheels, right? So the front wheel is the gay wheel. Is that what you're saying? Is the front wheel is the gay wheel?
in behavioral finance and neuroeconomics, describes it as a...
Because I can bust some sweet willies around. I'll just get around like that. Just wheeling. That'd be pretty sweet.
Complexity aversion, i.e. a kind of fear of investing if you've never done it before and you don't know much about it. According to him, it is the biggest barrier to building wealth for people who...
I think I will be your financial advisor. And I advise that you gamble. Gamble your nuts off. Gamble. You know, just take bets you know nothing about. Go Go to a Poly Market or something like that and just take the wildest bets you can. Bet on sports teams that you don't even watch and never even heard of. Is curling an option? Can I bet on curling? Can I bet? Can you bet on the show whether I'm going to? I don't know. What subject I'm going to do, which is nonsense. I don't know. Don't bet on the show. It's not going to be worth it.
Who are not in markets or who have never invested before.
I only gamble in Asian opium dens. Wow, that sounds fun.
For those who do invest, starting later in life, whether because it took you time to build enough income or simply not knowing how, makes
I
it
trust my money more at the craps table than a bank. That's actually a good point, right? Because at a craps table, you know they're trying to take your money. You know that at a bank, too, if you have any sort of head on your shoulders. But, like, a lot of people don't, right? They're like, oh, a bank, this is where my money is safe. No, the opposite of that. They're using your money to fund their lifestyles, and they don't care if you lose everything. They're going to stay rich. I think it's in the fine print, but when you put your money into a bank, it's seen as an investment. So if you lose everything, tough noodles. That's tough. There's nothing you can do. You technically invested into that bank for a very, very small return. And if you choose not to invest into a bank, no problem. We'll just cut you out of society completely. Try doing anything without a bank. What are you going to do? Carry around large wads of cash everywhere? That's not even possible with the amount everything costs. And then people are going to be like, where'd you get all this money? If you've ever taken money to a bank, they're going to be like, where the hell did all this money come from? And they're going to grill you. And then they're going to try to tax you. Yeah, it's not possible to work outside of the system. This is well known. Is this guy wearing a tiny hat? Does this guy have a yarmulke on? You guys see that, right? Do you guys see that? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking for real? Do you guys see what I'm seeing? This guy right here, he's got a yarmulke on.
far less likely that you'll build significant wealth. One article uses the example of someone investing in a retirement portfolio with an annualized total return of 8%. If that person starts at 20 years old and invests $200 a month, they'll have $1.25 million.
Carbon says, I think that's just shading. Yeah, I think it's a little shady too. But what are you going to
saved away by the time they're ready to retire. If they start just 5 years later.
Despite says, I'm moving to the mountains and trading furs. That'd be cool. Just be a fur trapper.
Only have $830,000.
That'd be cool.
Another 5 years after that, $547,000. Clearly, having the disposable income and knowledge to start investing early makes all the difference. And that puts...
Why, whenever they show a rich person and like a rich person's son, they're always wearing suits, right? They're just not wearing normal clothes. Always wearing suits. Suits everywhere. It's a suit kind of thing. Everyone's wearing... No, they don't... Rich people don't wear suits all the time. That's not what rich people do. It is not at all what rich people do. They do not wear suits all the time. Because that's just... Why? You're already rich. You don't need to wear a suit all the time. It's uncomfortable and it's itchy and they cost a lot. So why do... You know who wears suits? Poor people. Trying to look successful. That's who wears suits. Normal rich people don't wear suits. That's a ridiculous notion. No fucking way.
Puts people not born into wealth at a major disadvantage. Not to mention the thing that everyone tells you to do to earn money in life, get a college degree.
Imagine just wearing a suit all around. Yeah, you're a rich kid and you're like, yeah, I wear a suit everywhere, all the time. They're like, wow, that seems unpractical. Yes, it is. Now I'm going to the pool. And he jumps in a suit.
Starts off many Americans' lives deeply.
This is Armani, right? No. No, I'm not I'm wearing a fucking suit all the time.
Debt. The average federal student loan debt is around $38,000.
Carbon says, how will poor people know I'm a baller if I don't have an $80,000 watch? They won't. Here. Poor people have no idea what an $80,000 watch looks like. They have no fucking clue. Even a lot of rich people don't. Some do. Some people that are like into watches know, like, hey, that's a nice, like, Breitling, whatever, blah blah blah. They know Rolex, whatever, bullshit. Most poor people, basically all of them, have no idea how much your watch costs. You can have a shitty Chinese knockoff, and they'll assume it's nice. You know, see, you guys are poor people are stupid. They're easy to trick. That's how they're poor. You see? You see? You guys don't get it. You guys don't get it. Because you're poor.
If you choose to go to an elite school and you can't get financial aid, or you need an advanced degree for
background noise says, I'm in my birthday suit right now. I don't know why you had to tell me that.
a money-making profession like law or medicine,
Cheddar says you would be surprised. About what? What would I be surprised? There's a lot of douchebags on this earth. I'd be surprised that people recognize an $80,000 watch. No, I would not. No, I would not. No. Look, okay, fine. There's a couple of tools out there that'll be like, wow, that's a really nice watch and shit like that. But the vast majority of poor people will have no idea. No idea how much your watch costs. Because a lot of very expensive, like $600,000 watches look like they don't cost anything. They have like fabric bands and stuff. They don't look like there's not a space shuttle fucking fire. If my watch did something cool, like sent out like satellites, like little drones that like circled around my head, forming a halo, so people knew I was like divine in some way, that would be worth it, right? That would be, they'd be like, wow, that's a nifty ass watch. People don't know, dude. They have no fucking clue. This is why it's relatively easy to look rich. But being rich is much harder. But once you are rich, staying rich is super duper easy. It is like really hard to, because there's teams of people making sure you stay rich. There's that saying, a fool and his money are soon parted. That's only true for poor people. That's not true for rich people. There's a lot of rich people that are stupid as fuck, dude. And I'm not even kidding you. They're everywhere. Their parents were rich and their grandparents were rich, and it's just like, that's kind of how it was. That's how it's always been. And they're stupid as fuck. But they don't really have access to their own bank accounts to where they can make themselves poor. It's just all kind of in like, asset funds and, it's in holdings. It's not liquid.
you'll soon see it can be a lot more than that. Student debt is a huge drag on someone's ability to build up their personal wealth as you're starting off your professional life.
I'm not wearing a suit. I don't even have a suit. Honey, do I have a suit? She's like, I don't know. I don't think I have a suit. There's no need. What the fuck am I going to wear a suit for? What am I going to go to apply for a job? No. I'm not fucking doing that. No. Oh, yeah, but I'm going to go, I'd like to get a job here at the Jimmy John's. Fuck that noise. No. They'd be like, why are you wearing a suit? Oh, because you don't like it?
Even at zero, but at a negative amount.
Just look absolutely retarded, dude. Like, I don't know why you're wearing a suit, man. It's like, why are you wearing a suit? I mean, if I just wore a suit from day to day, the people in my life would be like, why are you wearing a suit? You're like sweating a lot. I'd be like, I know. It's really hot. I'm sweating as it is. And I'm wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. Right? This is Florida. If I was in a suit all the time, I would be miserable. But it could be funny. Just like that added kind of thing where I'm just like dying of sweat. I'm just sweating to death. Just like, oh my God. At least I look good. At least I look rich, right? Everybody, look, come see how rich I look in this suit. They're like, ew. It's got pizza stains on the tie. I'm like, yeah, well, I wanted to eat some pizza. What, you expect me to go hungry? I can't, this is why rich people don't wear suits. This is, bank employees wear suits, right? If I go to a bank, I want the guy working at the bank to wear a suit, okay? You're a suit monkey, okay? You wear I'm not wearing the fucking suit. You're a suit monkey. All right, now here's the money. Do things with it. Make the pile bigger, okay? I'm going to eat pizza without a shirt on, and I'm gonna spread ice cream on my nipples because that's what I get to do. Have fun in your suit.
And student debt interest rates mean that if you can only choose a relatively low monthly payment plan,
Suits, God, what? How impractical. No, rich people never wear suits. It's a stupid thing. Like Richie Rich, that Macaulay Culkin. He's like, I'm constantly wearing a suit. It's like, God, that must take you forever in the morning. Why? You have all the money in the world. Why would you wear a suit? So people know you're rich? That's insanity. Poor people wear suits. Poor people wear suits, and some less poor people wear slightly nicer suits, but you're still wearing a suit. It is a uniform, okay? That means you have to do a job. Rich people don't have jobs. They don't need them. They have no need for a job. So why would they ever wear a suit? People don't understand this. Oh, he's wearing a suit. He must be rich. I see somebody wearing a suit. I'm like, oh, he's wearing a suit. Maybe he can help me with something. Maybe we can ask him direction. I don't think he's rich. I think he's got a job somewhere. And I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks. You don't get to hang out with your family and stuff like that and like play the banjo and shit. And I'm just sitting there with my banjo, eating my ice cream. They have no idea what's going on.
barely going to make a dent in the amount you owe. All of your money.
My banjo and my ice cream. That's a fuck. If I see a guy out on a Tuesday afternoon and he's shirtless with a banjo and an ice cream cone, I'm like, that dude knows what's up. That's a rich dude right there. That guy has a lot of money. Or he has no money, but he's still rich because rich people and extremely poor people essentially do the same fucking thing. They just kind of hang out. It's everybody in the middle who wants like a Ferrari and shit, but never will be able to afford it, who's like wearing suits and looking like a dickhead, right? And oddly enough, the super rich people want to hang out with the super poor people because they're vibing on the same level a lot of the time. Some are on drugs, some of the rich ones are on drugs, and some of the poor ones are on drugs, right? I mean, like, it's a very similar vibe. It's a very similar vibe. No one's wearing a fucking suit. No one's wearing a fucking suit.
Be covering the interest. The current federal interest rate is 6.39%, rather than the principal of the loan.
Couchsurfing says church folk wear suits, or used to. Okay, well, when I think church people, I don't think they're like rich. If I see a big black guy in a suit, I just think he's going to church. I don't think he's, especially if it's Sunday. Like if it's a Sunday and I'm like chilling out at a barbecue place and it rolls around to like 11 or noon or something like that, and I got barbecue sauce all over my face and my fingers and stuff like that, and then a black family, everyone's in suits, rolls in, I'm not going to be like, oh, did a business meeting just end? Was there like some sort of like millionaire convention that I missed? No, church let out. Obviously I'm going to think that because I'm not fucking retarded. I'm just trying to get my nosh on, okay? At least they're church blacks, right? They still might stab you.
Journalist David Dennis Jr. has given up on paying off his...
What?
The $80,000 he racked up in school will turn into $200,000 in payments thanks to an 8% interest rate and the length of his repayment plan.
Despite says people used to wear suits just to fly. I don't know. I wasn't around during that time. I know that's a trope and shit like that, and maybe that was true, but not now. Now nobody wears a suit. I think I might bring it back. If I ever wear a suit, it might just be to fly. And then I'll be like flabbergasted at the technology. I'll be like, whoa, we're going fast. That's right. I'll walk around like it's the 1950s and slapping stewardess on the ass, even though they're like 80 years old and can barely speak English. I'll be arrested quickly.
Imagine using any leftover money to pay down debt means that you can't save up to invest in assets, especially the one that you...
I'll be like, why are you arresting me? I'm not even a Negro, sir. Please. It could be a fun bit, dude. Especially if I'm flying like Spirit Airlines and I see like a woman pilot, I'll be like, where's the man?
To help most American families build up wealth, a home. Now, the counterpoint usually brought up by older people falls along the lines of, I bought my first house.
You could also smoke everywhere back then. Yeah, I'll just light up a giant cigar.
When I was 26 working as a waiter. Why can't you? But things actually aren't that easy for millennials and Gen Z trying to work their way up to homeownership in today's economy. In 1984, the median annual household income in the U.S. was just over $22,000.
Carbon says, get off my plane. Yeah, I just think that now. I can't say it out loud.
400, while the median home sale...
But then I'm just like, it's like this. And you're fat, and then you're fat. And I'm like, this sucks. I hate flying, dude. I hate flying.
Price was $78,200. So an average home was around 3.5 times a household income. By 2022, the median household income had gone up to just under $74,600.
Hog Dog, I flew all over from 99 to 18 for jobs. Aren't you like a helicopter pilot, though? So, like...
per year. While the median home sale price was now $433,100. In other words, 5.8 times the average annual household income. According to the income rules many realtors go by, that means as of 2022, an American household needs to make above $100,000.
Oh, I used to fly a tour all over for GM and Chrysler. Oh, okay. Well, business class. That's business class right there. That ain't bad. But business class ain't bad. I've flown business class. It ain't bad.
To buy an average priced home.
It's still flying. Don't get me wrong. It's still flying. I don't like flying, even in business class. It's just, I don't like it.
And in some of the nation's biggest cities, they'll need to make 3 to 4 times that. That's partly due to housing shortages. As of 2022, the U.S. has more than 3 million.
Oh, marketing event producer. Oh, I bet that was a fun job.
Homes short of the demand from would-be home buyers, which is why browsing Zillow has become the millennial version of reading fantasy novels.
It's so funny because that's so true. You go on Zillow and you're like, wow, oh, this would be nice to live in. It's 2,000 square feet for $5 million, huh? Maybe I can afford. No, you can't afford that. No, you can't afford. You can't afford anything. You cannot afford anything. All right, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You cannot afford anything. You will never be able to afford anything. Everyone's like, oh, the bubble's going to pop. Don't buy now. The bubble's going to pop. Okay. Okay. Right. There's going to be 2008 all over again. You know why it's not 2008? Because not everyone is getting ninja loans, right? Back in 2008, they were handing out loans like candy. Strippers would get 5 loans on houses, and they would just the banks would keep giving out loans because they knew even if they were defaulted on, they could resell the houses for a higher price and the banks would still make money. So they were giving out unsecured loans Like they were fucking hotcakes, right? Everyone got 2 or 3 houses, and like it was crazy until everyone just kind of defaulted at the same time, and it kind of collapsed the economy. That is not the same situation today. They aren't handing out loans like that. Now all the houses are mainly held by trusts, hedge funds, and boomers, right? Trusts and hedge funds do not ever need to sell. They don't ever need to sell. They have too much money. It's never going to be an issue. Boomers are also never going to sell. They'd rather just hang on to the property than let it go for less than they think it's worth. Okay? So this is why housing prices haven't taken a huge dive yet, right? And sure, maybe they trailed out by like 3, maybe 5% in some markets, but like that's okay because other boomers and other fucking hedge funds are just going to come and swoop that up. Trust me, there's not going to be a bubble pop. Everyone's saying this. Everyone's saying this, and it's fucking stupid. Don't play the market. You'll get screwed, dude. I swear you'll get screwed. Okay? They want you out of the housing market. They don't want you to have a house. They don't want you to have a car. They don't want you to have fucking anything. You know why? Because it's super duper easy to control somebody if they own nothing. Yeah. Yes. It ain't gonna pop. It ain't gonna be 2008. It ain't gonna, no, house, everyone, oh, the prices are gonna come down to reasonable, and then a house is gonna be like $99,000. And I'm like, retard. You're fucking delusional. You're out of your mind.
Combination of factors. There's the labor shortages needed to build them.
No.
Policies blocking new construction
No.
in existing neighborhoods, and the high cost.
This is another thing, right? There's blocking, and especially in my town, they're blocking new construction left and right. They're like stopping the growth and shit like that. A lot of boomers are making it illegal to build new houses to keep their own property values up, which makes sense, right? But yeah, nobody's going to be able to afford houses. And a lot of boomers own like 3 or 4 houses that they're just like not selling. They don't want to sell. They don't want other people moving into them. They just like, monopoly. They own everything and they don't want to give it up. Boomers are the problem. Boomers are the majority of the problem in the United States today. I'm not saying that hedge funds aren't, because they are. Hedge funds are. The Federal Reserve, the government. These are all issues, and they're very significant issues. The main problem is boomers. The main issue is boomers. They voted every which way to make themselves as rich as possible and to make you as poor as possible. And with Social Security and stuff like that, we still owe them trillions of dollars. We owe boomers trillions of dollars. Yeah. And just the boomers. Not like any other generation. They're going to get Social Security, and no other generation is going to get Social Security. And we spend like $1 trillion a year just feeding into Social Security. The boomers are the problem. They are the main problem.
Cost of materials thanks to global supply chain shocks and inflation. Rising interest rates haven't helped matters. After over 2 decades of relatively low interest rates on home mortgages, the rates got jacked up to combat the inflation caused by...
Knob says where we live, they need to stop development on our infrastructure is so overloaded. It takes 25 minutes to get anywhere within a 1-mile radius. Ooh, really? Damn. Infrastructure is crumbling all over the United States too. Bridges, fucking highways, that kind of stuff. It was all overbuilt in the 50s. It was all overbuilt, so everyone would have a car, right? Because back then, building a car wasn't like building a car now. Cars are expensive. Cars are insanely expensive. And our country is based on automobiles. They're based on cars. And you guys are like, wow, you ride an electric bike? That is super homosexual. I'm like, okay. All right. All right. Okay. I have a car. I do have a car. It goes places, and I like my bike. All right. And I can drive it anywhere. I can go 90% of my trips, 99% of my trips, I am going 3 to 5, maybe 10 miles. I can do that on my bike. It's not an issue, right? Everyone else has to commute 2 hours to get anywhere, right? Drive 45 minutes to the fucking grocery store. That's a pain in the ass, dude.
Pandemic relief efforts. This led to current 30-year
Not all of you, but you know what I'm saying.
fixed-rate mortgage interest rates hovering around 6.76%, almost double what it was in 2016. That means that not only do people need much more money available to buy a house, as they'll be paying higher interest rates on mortgages, but empty nester boomers and Gen X, who would generally be downsizing at this point, are less likely to go buy a new expensive property for a much higher interest rate. So they can
Dude, it's crazy. Like, the size of the houses boomers live in. You're like, you live in a gigantic house. And, like, it's only 2 of you. Why? Why? But that's because that was just a very boomer thing. You made more money, you bought a bigger house. And then they just kept doing that until they had an enormous house. And then nobody lived there. And then they're just like, you know, they just kind of haunt it. They just haunt their gigantic house on top of a hill, and their grandkids don't even visit or anything like that, and they're just haunting it. And so people, I mean, like, there is going to be a market for smaller, more reasonable, like under 2,000 square feet houses. The market for them is not going to soften up, as it were. But the market for houses in general, I don't think it's going down. I mean, it might go down a little bit, but not what people are thinking.
continue to live in their paid-off homes, keeping it off the market and worsening the housing shortage.
Carbon says, hey, they need 6,000 square feet so they can avoid each other. Well, 6,000 square feet. But it's so fucking silly, dude. Like, it's so fucking silly because they'll have 6,000 square feet, something like that, and they'll have a dining room that they've never even set foot in. But oh my God, it's beautiful with china that they've never even touched, and a dining table made from Brazilian hardwood that no one is allowed to sit at. And then they'll have like a wine cellar, and then they'll have like a basketball court, even though they cannot, move all that well. And they'll have a home gym that has been untouched since the 80s. And they'll have all this shit and then spend all their time in one room with a TV, just staring at that TV, looking at CNBC and fucking in high definition as Maria Bartiromo just fucking ages and ages and they just, yeah, this is the only source of information I've ever had. And then they're just completely in the dark about everything. And they think they know all of it. They think they know everything, but they are very deeply naive. Deeply naive. And you can't explain that to them. You just can't. They think they're geniuses. How else would they have made so much money? Look at all this grandeur. Look at all this opulence. I must be a fucking genius. Well, are you sure? Or did you just trade in your country? Did you just trade in your children's future so you can have a bunch of nice, shiny things? That doesn't seem very genius to me. That seems insanely petty, insanely selfish. I wouldn't call it genius. But you do you.
People's ability to buy a house and invest in property that's going to appreciate makes a huge impact on how much wealth you can build in your life and how much wealth your children and grandchildren.
Carbon says, you know my parents? Oh, indeed I do. I know everybody's parents, and they're all the fucking same. They're all rich as hell. They spend all their time on cruises for some goddamn reason. They travel to places that, I mean, like, I get traveling. Traveling is a thing, but yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same. All the boomers, they're still just fucking boomers, man. They're still early 2000s, late 90s boomers, man. They still think the same things. They still don't understand technology. They have no idea what, like, AI or quantum computing or what a fucking scammer can do, right? They just, but it's okay because they have their Fox News or they have their CNN or some bullshit mainstream media that is just hanging on by its fucking fingernails, right? As long as we have the boomers. As long as we have the boomers, right? Because these media institutions would go under if it wasn't for the boomers, right? Because it's not about the ratings or how much these places are making in money terms, right? It's about controlling the minds of the people that control the money, right? The boomers control a vast amount of wealth. Way too much wealth, right? And so you have to have these legacy media out, you know, pumping ideas and thoughts into their head like it's downloading into a fucking MacBook. And then that's how you control the narrative. That's how you control policy, right? I mean, look at all the people that are in Congress. Everyone in Congress is fucking 60, 70, 80 years old. They have no idea on 90% of the bills they're even voting on. One reason is they can't read that much. That's like a 1,000-page bill. You know, they can't read all that. But they just have no concept. They have absolutely zero idea what's going on. And they honestly don't give a shit either. They've had their good life. They got theirs. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. They'll set that ladder on fire and watch you fall to the absolute pit of feudalism, right? Because fuck you. Even though they're saying this directly to their kid's face, right? Fuck you, son. Fuck you, grandson. I got mine. And he fucking wags his dick at him. Can you believe it? Can you believe that shit? And maybe they did this like unknowingly, right? Maybe they had no real concept of what they were doing. Well, we're building the future. Look at us. We have all this tech and stuff. Oh, look at me. I have a Palm Pilot. Wow. And you can't even use your fucking... You can't attach a fucking JPEG to an email. You can't use this shit. Useless people. Absolutely goddamn useless people. Right? And always really have been. Always have been. It's not like they've really created much in their life. What? Fucking dirty hippie music? Financial destitution. You removed the gold standard. Oh, you ran the entire country on fiat currency and fucking national debt. You shipped every job that could have supported your kids overseas so you can make a little bit more, so you could have a fucking marble countertop, huh? So you could have a big-ass yacht that you spend one weekend a year on. Wow. God damn, dude. The faster those people are on the ground, the better. Honestly. And I know a lot of them are good. I don't even want to fucking use that qualifier, right? Oh, a lot of them are good. A lot of them good people. Yeah. Fuck that. Are they? If they were really good, they would have went around and be like, yo, you guys know what this shit is doing? You know what this shit is causing? All these fucking immigrants coming, do you know what? Does anybody want to stop this? No, they're not good people. No, they're all just shit.
Can build. Home ownership itself helps people build wealth by giving them the ability.
Shimo, did Boomer create AIDS? Yeah, I mean, technically.
to take out loans against their property that they can use to invest or build up something of their own. Nob
says, I love when John gets on a Boomer kick. Oh, I got all kinds of kicks. I got all kinds of kicks. I'm angry.
Report by the National Association of Realtors found out that by 2023, middle-income homeowners had accumulated $122,100 in wealth due to an average of 68% appreciation in their property value since 2012. NAR chief economist Lawrence Yoon says a monthly mortgage payment is often considered a
Despite says, when does he not? When does he not get on a boomer kick? Nah, I'm not always on boomer kicks. It's not, but it's a main issue because it was a serious part of history, right? The responsibility that they still have, that is supposed to be passed down through lineages of like making the world a better place for your children. This is the status quo, right? This is what you're, and they assumed they were doing that by enriching themselves. They were like, fuck everybody else. We're going to make ourselves rich. But they were like, I'm just making the world a better place for my children. You're not thinking about us at all. You're only thinking about yourself. And I can't explain that to you. There's no explaining it to them. Even to this day, you look at some rich boomer couple and their fucking drug addicted children, or their children that are like fucking working 3 jobs just to be able to live in their car and shit like that. Meanwhile, they're jet setting all over the fucking planet. And then you're just like, I thought you were trying to make things better. Better for who? Better for who? And then they have the audacity, the gall to be like, where are my grandchildren? Well, you fucking spent them. You spent them, dude. You spent them on like a fucking a weird vase or some like a fossil dinosaur skull or some weird bullshit that you just show to other boomers in your atrium, and they'd be like, look at that. Wow. That's nice. Wow. God, it's infuriating. It actually drives me insane. It drives me fucking up the wall.
Savings account that helps homeowners build a net worth about 40 times higher than that of a renter. In the meantime, the potential
Shimo says John hates boomers. I do.
of renters to build a path toward homeownership is becoming more and more bleak. In 2022, renters in the U.S. spent an average of 30% of their income on rent, a record high that's only continuing.
Well, look, dude. I mean, like, if it wasn't for these great boomers, I mean, like, you'd be able to afford a house. You'd be able to start a family. You'd be able to run a company. You'd be able to, like, get out of a mountain of debt and stuff like that. You'd be able to live a decent life. And on a societal scale, they stole that from us. On a societal, throughout the entire country, they stole that. They stole that. And then they slap us with a bill. Here's a Social Security bill. Here's for my retirement. Here, you owe me that. And they're sitting around their big ass house, driving their fucking nice cars. Here's my Social Security bill. I'm forcing you to pay that. By law. Oh, and you can't even punch them either. Because if you punch over somebody at the age of 65, that's a felony. They can punch you. That's just a misdemeanor. Can't punch them. Yeah. I don't even know if they're happy though. I honest to God, I don't even know if they're happy. I think they have everything they want. I think they had the success, right? If you can call thievery success. But I'm not sure they're happy. I think they're just like, well, I got a lot. Because money, once you get past a certain amount of money, it really doesn't matter, right? You're not that happy. There's short little bursts of stuff. Like when you order a package from Amazon, you're like, oh, cool. But that's not sustained contentment. That is a different animal. That is a completely different animal, right? Sustained happiness, sustained contentment is something you have to work for. Something you can't just vote for. Something you can't just like slap on somebody else and be like, here you go, you pay for it. It's something you need to work for yourself. And I say, I don't know if the boomers in general have that. I don't think they do. Now, do the millennials have happiness in general? Do the Zoomers have happiness in general? Well, no. Obviously not, because we can't even afford a place to live. We don't know where our next meal is coming from. A lot of us, right? We don't know if we're going to get hit with a gigantic medical bill or our fucking car's engine is going to explode or it's just something like that. And living on the edge of anxiety like that constantly, it takes a lot from you. So what are you supposed to do? Enjoy the little things? I mean, yeah. What else? What else? Just live in like a general malaise. Just a general sadness. Just lose yourself in a bottle. I get that. I really do. I mean, I was there. You got to try to fix it. That's all. You just got to try to fix it.
Continued to rise. According to Bremer
It's
Bank,
gonna be hard.
this led to a 70% increase in the wealth gap between owners and renters in the last 3 decades. Now, people born rich have an obvious advantage when it comes to becoming rich themselves: money. But being born into a wealthy family actually gives you a lot more advantages than that. Starting with financial literacy. Many rich kids are having meetings with their parents.
You don't need financial literacy. If you're born rich, you don't need to know nothing. You don't need to know shit. Honestly. Look, I mean, like, if you're born, like, okay, if you're, like, middle to upper middle class, then, yeah, you're probably going to need to learn some basic financial literacy. But if you're up in, like, the top 1% to 5%, even, you know, that kind of shit, you don't need to know shit. You don't need to know shit. You have a team of people that do that shit for you. And this is why, like, a lot of people, politicians' kids, a lot, they kind of fall into, like, drugs. They go insane, right? I mean, like, there's no reason for you to be here. You can't possibly fail. You can't possibly fail. And then you have no real reason to achieve anything either. So, like, both sides are kind of in this weird stalemate, right? Where the people that are poor know they can't achieve anything. They just know that it's mathematically impossible, right? If you're born in a certain class, it is essentially mathematically impossible for you to ascend, okay? And if you're already in that class, like a 1%er or some shit like that, there's no reason for you to do anything at all because you've made it. You're in there for good. You don't need to do anything. You are essentially worthless. You will always be worthless. And then that's where they come together. That's where they come together. They are both equally worthless. It's magic. And it's beautiful.
It's financial advisors given small portfolios to manage and get interest.
Carbon says hoes, drugs, and guns. I know. Yeah, hoes, drugs. If you're wealthy like that, yeah, you piss away all your money on fucking drugs and prostitutes and shit like that. But, like, then what? Then what? And if you're poor, you're going to be living in your car. And then you're like, well, this is me. Then what? One's got a nice house and the other one has nothing. So it's just, yeah.
Dividends from a young age. They're told exactly what financial instruments and loopholes can help them accumulate wealth before they've even graduated high school, which is perhaps why MoneyZine found that 58% of Americans who earn over $100,000 are financially literate. On the other hand, financial literacy among the general population is at an all-time low. And without a team of business managers...
That's because just people are fucking retarded. We have this idiocracy thing going on where, like, people with any sort of real financial literacy are all like, oh, it's too expensive to have kids. I don't want kids because it's going to bury me in the future. It's going to... Look, I don't... You know how much a kid fucking costs? I do. They're insane. Like, it's like $300,000, so $300,000 or $400,000 to fucking raise a kid to the age of 18, and that's before college, by the way. My kids aren't going to college. I'm making them stupid on purpose. I feel like, nah, no. You will work the fields, okay? You will get burnt under the sun harvesting potatoes, okay? I'm gonna set them real low on those. This is you, okay? Potatoes. That's what you need to learn this, the potato. Honey, bring me a potato. She brings me my baby son.
Use advisors and lawyers to tell most people what to do and how to plan out their financial future.
What? Look at what we're sliding into this, post-apocalyptic feudalism. Why not, dude? Let's just set his sights low. Be like, we got to be real with you, okay? When we were kids, our parents would be like, you can grow up to be anything. No, that wasn't true then. That's definitely not true now. It's definitely not true. They were just like, oh, you're just going to be super rich and wealthy like us because it's just so easy. Look, it's just so easy. It's not, though. You're making yourself rich. You're taking that from us, you see. And so, no, I'm not going to be a fucking astronaut. Yeah. No, what I have to do is I have to fucking sit in front of like hundreds of strangers, and I have to fucking make jokes, and then like let off some fucking steam for $5 from Despite. And he's got a link. Don't get me wrong, I love you guys, I really do. But you think I'd rather be chilling in space right now? Yeah. What is this?
The name is George Washington, but it's the general to you.
Oh.
You could call me President 1, not 3 or 2. And you probably heard a lot of silly stories about me, but let me lay it down how raw I really used to be. I got a hemp operation back at the plantation, selling the stickiest shit around the new nation. So come run and find me if you wanna get high, cause honestly I got the bombest, I cannot tell a lie.
You know what's funny about the Founding Fathers is they were all like 20, like early 20s, right? And they were absolute party animals. And they would just sit around smoking weed and fucking getting hammered drunk. Like, not like, I mean like hammered drunk. Like really irresponsibly drunk all the time. They were getting so fucked up. They're all like, yeah, we could take on England. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Hey. God, what's that dude's name? The one who fucks the French hookers. Whatever. He'll do something. Yeah. Oh, it's my jam, right? And it's like, because they don't have fucking electricity. Dude, it's all fucking strings and like trumpets. Boop, 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 boop. They're like, fuck yeah. I'm going to get the clap tonight. And they did.
Pick it dry, of course, bag it up and brick it and then just let them buy it. And if the Brits want to come and take a piece of the cut, I'll raise a whole fucking army, let them see what's what. The king's like, yo, I gotta get paid. I'm like, tough titty, cause y'all's a whole ocean away. And you can try to send some ships to come and make me pay up, but that's an awful long way just to suck these nuts. You get my fucking message, son?
Yeah, yes I do.
Thomas Jefferson.
Sell drugs, run guns, nail sluts, and fuck the law. We're founding fathers.
They were pretty hard. They were hard, dude.
Rush more shit.
And they're all like wearing like fucking ascots and nice jackets and shit like that. No, they were fucking frat bros. They were all fucking frat bros, dude. Like, serious, like basically fucking teenagers, dude. They're like, well, we're just getting fucked up, dude. You know, they didn't have like a Federal Reserve or anything. No fiat currency. They were just like, you could make enough to like live and then just kind of do whatever you wanted.
The Declaration of Independence I wrote so high, I'm surprised it makes sense, but we find these truths to be self-evident. It goes puff, puff, pass, the next round you get skipped.
Abe Lincoln. I know what you're thinking. Greatest president ever, I'll have what he's drinking. Yeah, well see, that's where you'd be wrong. Cause if you wanna chill with me, you better go and grab that bomb. All right.
He's pretty skilled. He's a talent. He was talented.
I can see you do not understand. Faded 24/7, cause that's just the way I am. I can see you're having a little trouble believing me. Then check this letter that I wrote, recorded down in history. Ahem. Two of my favorite things are sitting on my porch and smoking a pipe of that sweet hemp. Of course, that's a quote that I wrote while I was still in office. But enough of that, I am too high. I have to back up off this. Where's my horse? I think I need to go and ride him home. I was supposed to leave about 420 rips ago. You see my hat? I like it. I kinda think it looks like a stove. Scratch it, pass it one more time, and let me hit it for the road.
Sell drugs, run guns, nail sluts, and fuck the law. We're founding fathers.
I mean, they'd be chill as fuck to hang out with, I'm sure.
Rush more shit.
And they'd just be saying deep shit. Like, yo, you know what? Fuck the king, man. And I'd be like, okay, yeah. All right, go on. I'm writing shit down. What's up, guys? This would be the boys, dude. I'd just be hanging with the boys. And, like, you know, what? There was like 30 people back then. 30 or 40 people in the United States. And they're all like, yo, let's just, you know, well, we're going to write some shit down and say, like, fuck that. Nah, I'm not paying your taxes. It was 2% on a non-essential luxury item. It was 2% on a non-essential luxury item. They're all like, fuck this. We're going to burn this shit down. 2%. It was like a penny on something. It was like a penny. Right? And they lost their shit. They're like, fuck no. 2% on tea. Tea. You seriously drink that much tea? Where like a 2% tax is really going to fuck you up that bad? Yeah. Well, it's more about the principle of it. Okay, yeah, man, just pass it, whatever. Okay, so what? We're going to like shoot them or something? And they're like, yeah. Oh, but first we're gonna dump all their tea in like the harbor. Why? Fuck it, I don't care. And then I'm just getting fucked up with them, right? Right? I'm like, yeah, whatever, tea, harbor, that's cool, I guess. And then Paul Revere, fucking drunk off his ass, has to have his horse fucking drive by, and he's all like, the British are coming. I need to go home. It was lit. They're like, damn, Paul, I forgot. I can't believe you actually made it. He was like, yeah, this horse is pretty drunk too. Badasses, dude. Just a bunch of badasses.
Smoking out the Continental Congress. Everybody's bitches be like all up on us. Patrick Henry's in the corner looking pretty well spent. Ben Franklin got so high he forgot to be president. Your girl just so good. Smoke so many trees that my fucking teeth turn wood. And if they make a monument to me when I die, it'll be a giant abstract joint up in the sky. But you know they're gonna whitewash me. Make up some corny shit about me chopping cherry trees. It's hard to control the people if they're found as a thug. So they'll just teach that I was all prayers, puppies, and hugs. But that just
He's on the real. He's on the real. That's the real right there.
ain't the way it was. We set this whole place up with a hell of a buzz. So next time they try and tell you that this stuff is wrong, look at a dollar, light a blunt, fucking sing my song.
Sell drugs, run guns, nail sluts, and fuck the law. We're founding fathers, we're Rushmore shit, and we were all high as balls. The Declaration of Independence I wrote so high, I'm surprised it makes sense, but we find these truths to be self-evident. It goes puff, puff, pass, the next round you get scared with the founders, and we found this, and we found it, this on cannabis. We're the founders, and we found this, and we found it, this on cannabis. Mount Rushmore crew, Stone
Ben Franklin's just fucking ripping the guitar. It's true. They just fucking look. Imagine yourself back in that time. There's like no air conditioning. You know, your Xbox doesn't work. The TV hasn't been invented. There's nothing to do but listen to some sweet tunes, right? You know, people had drums and fucking guitars and shit like that. That shit worked, right? And so you just kind of hung out and nailed bitches and fucking you got fucked up. And then some guy, some fucking square comes in and he's wearing a suit. He's a suit monkey. He's a fucking suit monkey. Comes in and he's all like, yeah, guys, you owe 2% on the T. I don't know why he sounds like that, but yeah. And they're like, fuck you, square. And they fucking killed his ass. They killed him. They fucking killed him. They fucking killed him, dude. That's how fucking hard these dudes were. They fucking just killed him. They're like, no one's going to find out. And they're not even paranoid, dude. They're smoking that fire. They're smoking that fire shit, dude. And they're just lit. They're fucking so drunk. And they're like, yeah, we just fucking killed that guy. Yeah. Well, his suit looks super gay and shit, so we just fucking killed him. Yeah. Yeah, it turns out tar and feathering somebody actually kills them. When you pour hot tar on somebody, their skin boils alive, and they die from that. So it's not as comical as the cartoons make it out to be. It's actually a horrific way of dying. So, yeah, we killed him. Yep.
T. Jefferson and A. Lincoln. And fuck that other guy. Calvin Coolidge, whoever the fuck. We history.
Hard motherfuckers. Hard motherfuckers. And then people today are like, are we sure? Like, yes. That's what, dude, them's the rules, all right? It's like they made a secret club, and then they wrote down the rules, and from then on, them's the rules, okay? And now people are like, oh, but guns are dangerous. Look at all these people. The guns are we'll use the guns. If people are going around shooting people, guns. The gun thing solves itself. All you need to do is have another gun, and then no more problems. Like, they thought about this. Some dude, fucking Ben Franklin, was high as balls. Syphilis was eating through his brain because he was nailing Native American chicks and French hookers at the same time, dude. It was a weird kind of fucking, like, Ameri-Indian fusion of weird sex. They were perverts, okay? Let's be honest. Let's be real. They were perverts. A lot of them. But that was cool back then. That was fine. You know, it was a different time. And they were just like vibing. They were vibing. Absolutely vibing. You can't vibe harder than Ben Franklin. Try. Go ahead. You're going to get arrested. Go ahead. I swear. Go ahead and try to vibe even half as hard. You know, Trevor Moore was like, you know, I'm going to make an experiment. I'm going to see if I can vibe. And now he's dead. He died. He did it himself, right? Right. Right.
That's why only 28% of Americans with an income of less than $25,000
shouldn't tax T at 2% though. So he kind of deserved it. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Really? He did. 2%, that's wild. 2%? That is a... What are we being taxed at right now? Like fucking 50%? Something like that? They'd be like... They'd come to the country now and they'd be like, yo, what the fuck? At least the weed's good. They'd be like, yeah, what... They would smoke the weed and be like, yo, this weed is too strong. This is not the same. This is like a fucking bioweapon. This is not the same stuff. This is... Whoa.
are financially literate. After all, it's not like managing your finances is taught.
Cheddar says, I'm vibing right now. You better not. You better not. Well, if you're an American, I think that's cool. But if you're like in England, if you're like British or something like that, they have very strict rules against vibing. No vibing because it didn't work. It didn't work out at one point in history, and they're like, no vibing from here on out.
In most high schools, most people...
A bunch of squares over in England. It sucks, right? It's all squares and Muslims. It's sad, but it's true. It's too many Muslims. I'm not saying just in England. I'm just saying there's too many Muslims And that is the end of my sentence. There's just too many Muslims.
Graduating college can't even fully explain how mortgages or IRAs work. Gen Z has the lowest
Cheddar says, "Oh, John, I'm vibing so goddamn hard."
overall financial literacy rate.
Nice.
With only 38% knowing anything about
I'm jealous, too. Yeah, you're right. I will be jealous of your vibe. I don't want to harsh it either. I don't. That's not what I do around here. That's not my job. My job is specifically the opposite. I am the vibe facilitator. Okay? I encourage vibes. That's my job. That's what I do. That's why I'm here. That's the whole shebang. Right? It's all about good times and vibes. It's all about good times and vibes, boys. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So get out there and do some vibes. Do vibing. Vibe a little. Be like the founding fathers and vibe the best and hardest your hearts can vibe. For me, for old Sulky. Please. Please. That's all I need is a good old vibe from you guys. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching this show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the cult. And thanks for being you. I will see you guys tomorrow night at the same time, same place, and also on Daywave, of course. And I hope you guys have a great evening and get out there and make me proud. Vibe. You better vibe. Make me proud. I hope you guys have a great night. Stay strong. Stay valiant. Spread the good word of the cult. Hit the like button on your way out. I would very much appreciate it. And until tomorrow, be good people. Drink a lot of water. Get a good night's sleep. And take care of yourselves because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth, setting fire to their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, born like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I